So this is my editing rig and I really like it. The problem with it, however, is that it does not have a 10 gig network card. And given that we just upgraded our local network here in the office to 10 gig because our server has a 10 gig card, it's quite the bummer that I am not able to use that power. Nowadays you will get 2.5 gig network cards, which is already something. I do like that. However, yeah, I can have 10 gig, but I can't, so I'm quite annoyed. But originally, the series about my editing rig was supposed to be a 9-episode thing. And we had to let one episode go, but not because I wanted to, but because during the initial designing phase, the idea phase, I reached out to Intertech, my beloved first company I have ever worked with. The thing is, they had some major remodeling of their website and all, and they were putting every content creator relation on hold until they are finished, which I fully understand. So unfortunately I was not able to get a 10 gig network card and I had to go through with the whole project because I was putting Fantex on hold for a 6-month period. And I really hope Fantex is not mad at us. I'm sorry, Fantex. Sorry, Fantex. I'm sorry. So yeah, that was quite a bummer, but it just was how it was. But the thing is that literally the day after I finished this goddamn build, this box arrived. Oh, the timing could not have been worse. Yeah, I really wasn't happy about that. It's no shame to Intertech, they do what they do. It's just, if I would have waited a week with this build, I could have just put it in. But let's quickly have a look at it. I mean, in the end, it's still a network card, and network cards do not tend to be, beautiful. And the thing you get in the box is the network card itself, like a shortened PCIe bracket, in case you install it in a location where you have the short version, a driver CD, which... Who has optical drives? Well, I will definitely not use it, and some sort of quick start manual, which I will also choose to ignore. Now, network cards are really not the most beautiful thing under the sun. From the top, it looks quite okay. It's a big ass heatsink, it's all black, so it has something going. And from the other side, we are back to green PCB, which in no way, shape or form I'm willing to look at. The thing with this card in particular is that it is not expensive at all. Like for a 10 gig card, dual port 10 gig card, this is a really good price, which is the reason why I went with this one. I'm not even sure about the chip that is in there. Does it say something? Intel, it's an Intel X540, an Intel X540 chip. I'm not that used to networking hardware, so I'm not so sure if that's good or bad. I just assume that this will push out 10 gig and that's really the only thing it needs to do for me. So at this point, a big thank you to Intertech for sending this over, and I'm sorry for what we are about to do today. So the initial idea for all of this was actually so freaking cool. I installed the GPU vertically, right? And the thing about this case in particular is that I can still, in theory, use the bottom PCIe slot. And although you are not able to see what's behind it, because the GPU is vertically, it can still function normally. You can still install it, you can still screw in the screw, and the GPU can still sit in there nice and tight. And I really love the idea because of the fact that otherwise you would see a freaking green PCB. But because it would be so low and it would be so much pressed in, you just won't see it. And not to say that Intertech created a not so handsome card, but let's be honest, it's green PCB. It is not something to look at, but it needs to function. And if it functions and you can see it, I have everything I ever wanted. Now the problem about today's video is my PC is finished, and installing this would have been just a 10-second thing if I would be in the process of putting this PC together, but I'm not. So my idea for today is not draining this goddamn loop. No, what I'm trying to do is using pliers somehow get the bottom screw out, get the bottom PCIe bracket out, somehow install this card, and then put everything back together without moving a single freaking component, because all of those are hardlines. I cannot move anything. The only thing I'm able to move is the power connector for my GPU. Don't do this. Never do this. I should not be doing this. Oh, perfect. To give you the full scope of the stupidity of today's situation, the screw that I need to get out is up here, behind this PCB. I should not be doing that. Okay, I now had a closer look at everything, and I think I came up with the stupidest way of how to get out that goddamn screw, but this may really work. Oh my god, I hope it works. Oh my god. Okay. So instead of being a normal human being, I'm trying to get the pliers, or the tweezers, I don't know, get them behind the GPU with my goddamn hand, and then somehow twist that screw. Apply some force. Oh, it's turning. It's got that. No, I lost it. And if I now take something like a flathead, I can maybe. Let's try again with the flathead. Okay, the flathead just doesn't work at all. Oh boy. After trying to somehow twist that goddamn screw for like an hour, I came to the sudden realization that the screw is too long. At some point it hits the GPU, so either I will bend the PCB of my GPU or this just will not work. And as unfortunate as this is, it won't work. So we need to drain this whole thing. Or at least not fully, partially should be sufficient. Like, I just need to get the GPU out for like a minute. And if you have a look at the height of the different things, I'm going to drain it here. So it will drain, unfortunately, the whole reservoir. And from there then the GPU, at least partially, because the GPU itself from here down should stay filled. And it's just this tube and this tube. Oh my god, I don't know how I will do this. I don't want to do this. I really don't. One thing I learned when I put together this PC is that the coolant we use, it creates a goddamn mess. Like my old desk, the old working desk, was so dirty afterwards. It had like stains from it, and they just never went away. I had to sand that whole table down to get them off, and even then they weren't fully off. So because we have this fancy new expensive table, there is just no way I'm doing that mistake ever again. We are putting paper everywhere, and also inside everywhere goddamn paper.
One eternity later.
Okay, to drain it, we will have the usual stuff. I have, where is it? I have prepared this monstrosity, which I will just like keep here and then hope that the bottle is not filled before the coolant is out. Just in case, I will put more paper on the floor. The only thing I'm really afraid of is that the coolant will come down so quickly that the thing here can't push it down quick enough. That's like a real concern for me. Oh god. Oh, I hate this part. I hate this part so much. Okay, so this part is drained now. That's already good. However, I also need to drain this one so that everything from the GPU can come out. Oh god, there is a part 2 to this. Oh my god, there was way more coming out this time. No! Chill. Let's give it a little lift. Okay, it's already looking promising. Like, now, if I remember correctly, the only way there will be more fluid coming out of here is if I give it some air through this screw. So let's quickly close this one so that I can be 100% sure that nothing will come out through multiple holes at once. And now try the whole thing again while loosening up this screw here. Okay, air is going in, so coolant is going somewhere, and as I thought, it's coming out here. Okay, let's just stash even more paper in there, because what I'm about to do now is even stupider, even more stupid. I should be able to loosen up this screw right here. By the way, because all of these tubes are still filled, the CPU block is still filled, and the red is still completely filled. Like, I don't want to play with this, otherwise I would, I don't know, throw like a liter of coolant onto my table. This needs to be very well thought through. So, if I loosen this one right here, and if I loosen either one of these two, it doesn't really matter which one, but there is a tiny bit of coolant left, so let me have something to catch it, something like this. And if I now rip it out without destroying anything, great job right there, and then just let it like drip out, and then clean up this one. Now, in theory, and I can also like take this tube out, but there is also a little bit of coolant left. So let's stash even more paper in there. Exactly like that. Great. And now the GPU should be free, but I am not allowed to tilt it because the GPU is still filled with coolant. So no tilting today, but we can get it out, I guess. Okay. Unfortunately, this GPU was put in using a Christian method, meaning only a single screw, because who needs two? And now comes the big moment. Damn it, is this PCIe lock tight? Oh no. I first need to loosen up the back distro plate, because the GPU is, or the distro plate is sitting on the GPU. Can I move it? Yeah, to some degree. Come on, PCIe lock. Come on. Oh my god. It's out. It's out. Nothing broke. Oh my god. And now that, all of that just to unscrew this one goddamn screw here. This sucker. Oh no, it's needed. I need to put it back in with the cord. Okay, now comes the final moment. Why we did all of this madness here. And by the way, because it is so short, I can put it behind my riser cable here, which is just fantastic. Give me some motivational music. I need a coffee. Okay, an ungodly amount of coffee later, and here we are. The 10 gig card is in, yay! But the GPU is out, nay. But we still need to get it in somehow, and that shouldn't be that hard. It's just afterwards, I need to make sure that all the tubes are tight again, everything is sealed again, and then we are done for today. But oh my god, I will never do this again. And everything could have been prevented if I just had thought about just not putting in that PCIe bracket. Like, I would have been able to like squeeze a screw through there, like a short screw, a small screw, you know, those PSU screws, for example. I could have done that, but I wasn't able to remove the one from Fantech. It was so stupid. I could have prevented that. But that's where we are now. I need to somehow put it back together. And then we are in 10 gig mode. Yeah, let's do horrible number 2. Okay, how do I do this without breaking basically everything? And the horrible thing about liquid cooling is that you don't know if you broke anything up until the point where you put it back together, which is, somewhat like this. I need to lift this one up. Okay, GPU is back in. Everything is back in. Now let's first connect these two. Yeah, afterwards I can clean the whole PC again. Great. And now I need to do this. Yeah. Yeah, and this should be tight now again. Looks pretty good to me. And now the hard one. I just remembered something from the original build. I needed to like retighten everything with pliers because it wasn't like leaking, but there was like a drop coming out every week. So I removed this one and this one. So those are the two that I'm going to retighten a bit. And like real tight. Okay, and now this one, like really tight. Okay, now I need to, oh my god. Yeah, this is like the bucket of shame in the bottom. And somewhere in there we have those fan tags, screws to close the holes for the fittings. Somewhere. Here's one. Where is the other fan tag screw? Am I going nuts? Ah, found it. Okay, so let's close this one too now. Oh boy. Okay, the whole thing is back together again. Everything seems to be fine, but as it usually is with like water-cooled builds, it's also very possible that nothing is fine and that will leak all over the place, and then that's going to be a really bad day for me. But for now, I still have high hopes. This is my fill port in the top. This is what I'm going to use to put all of the black gunk back in there. However, I need to be really cautious this time because, you know, the black gunk does create a lot of stains. Or it destroys tables, basically. And clothes and everything, and skin and everything. I mean, even my fingers, it takes weeks until the black gunk goes off. It's absolutely incredible. Afterwards, when I filled it, I will also give it a little clean, a little rub with some isopropyl because I have like black spots now everywhere and it's a white PC and that really doesn't mix that well. But let's just hope that this time this works fine and that this is not going to be a massacre. Something that I absolutely need this time around is something to let this drip on. So I'm going to take this, put this on there, and then it can drip on there and I don't care. Now the usual stuff, power on. Oh, no. That explains where this screw comes from. This is the GPU screw, which I completely forgot. Okay, power cycle. What else can we do? Okay, for now it looks like the loop is actually fine, but I need to refill this one and I need to open up this screw so that the air can like escape from there. Let's do that. Okay, Windows has started up. That's something positive. Okay, one very important thing that I learned last time. If I have this port up here open and I just pull the power and the reservoir is almost full, what will happen is stuff is just going to shoot out in the top. It's incredible and we are not doing that again. Last time I had to clean the PC for hours until I got everything off. And now we are going to do the stupidest thing, which is just slightly turn this one. And you can see how it slowly fills up, or rather quickly. Now we're going to tilt it so that the air goes to the spot where the hole is. And then we can close that sucker. So far, so good. Now, let me give the PC a little rinse and then we will wait a couple of minutes until I'm 100% sure that there is no leakage anymore, because the PC is basically not safe again until we can be 100% sure that I didn't just destroy anything. It's, yeah, but we are almost done. Great.
One eternity later.
Okay, the PC is cleaned up. I let it run for half an hour, roughly. And of course I cleaned everything, I cleaned all the stains, and now it's time to check if anything is leaking at all. And instead of the blue paper, what I like to use is like just straight up toilet paper, because it's like the most absorbing, and because it's plain white, I will immediately see if there is anything black coming out of the fittings. And for now, the few ones that I opened look pretty dry to me. There is nothing in the bottom, so there's no like droplet that fell down. There is nothing around the fittings that is coming out that is not supposed to come out, so it looks like I didn't break my PC. Great! So everything is done, everything has been completed, so I guess it's time to take this thing, somehow manage to get it over to the other room, to my working area where the router and the switch are, and then just witness how a 10 gig line really looks and feels like. This is the stuff. Whew, finally, the Office 10 gig upgrade is finally completed. It was a wild ride, to be honest, but I'm glad that we are finally done. However, I didn't speak quite that much about the card itself, that I just on the side just flipped into the system and called it a day. So it was an Argus ST-7214, and I just looked it up. You can get it for like around 150 euros and or 120 euros. It's I found it quite inexpensive, given that most cards start at like 150 to 200 euros in that range. And usually those cards only have a single port, and this one has two ports. Not that I need two ports, but you know, it's always good to have more than to have less. At this point, another very big thank you to Intertek for sending it over. It's quite unfortunate that it wasn't included in like the original build. There we could have spent more time with it instead of now just quickly doing it or quickly pushing it in because I need to continue working. But still, very thankful that they stepped in here and helped us out. And the performance, I mean, oh my god, this is heaven for me. We now have that switch with a bunch of 10 gig ports directly linked to the server using a 10 gig card, and I can now push everything on that goddamn server. It's amazing. I might not be quite able to like edit off the server, or I don't want to do that because I can't like rely on the connection to be perfect while I'm doing something like editing. But our projects have like 200 gigs, and pushing them up and down does take time, and this now takes a lot less time, which is really great. So a big thank you to Intertek for sending this puppy over. But yeah, I think for today this was it. But if you want to continue watching, maybe have a look at the playlist about building this whole damn editing rig, which is now a 9-episode thing. So yeah, enjoy. Thank you for watching and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.